Welcome to another episode of Suddenly Ajussi. Welcome. How are you?
I feel good.
Yeah.
I'm very busy taking the boot camp for the whole week. Every day, every morning, I wake up at 6, go swimming at 7, take
Wow.
class at 9, go gym
Until then.
during the lunch.
Wow.
So busy.
It keeps you busy. That's good. I mean, the the digital science course, no, not digital science, but data science course keeps you busy during the day. And you learn something from it. I mean, it's limited until when is it?
What do you mean limited?
It has it's only, I think, 8 weeks or 6 weeks.
No, it's
3
6
months.
months. 6
6
months.
months.
Yeah.
6 months. Okay. And after that, you will be ready for a new job in this space.
Yeah, new job or graduate school. I'm still thinking. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's your week?
My week. I played a golf tournament on Friday. Yeah.
Really? Did you
Yeah,
win?
just for fun. I mean, if I say golf tournament, it's not like I am very good at it or something, but it's more like this club has a golf tournament, so let's participate. And this one was more like a fun tournament. So I played with a team partner. My team partner is actually an active listener from this podcast. He's the only one who's listened to all of this, but you need
Thank
one
you.
fan, right? Yeah.
Love
His,
you.
his name is Max. Thank you, Max.
Love you, Max. Your name sounds German, Max.
He's German. Yeah. And we played this tournament. I mean, I think we played our worst, not our worst, but one of our worst rounds. And we had two other partners in this called Flight. They were like, I think 70 years old and maybe someone is 60s. I mean, they kicked our ass to some extent, but it was fun. It was fun. Sometimes during the golf tournaments, you have a group which is very kind of difficult to play with in terms of they're so annoying or they're just in a bad mood or something. But this one was a really fun one. Then yesterday, I did nothing. I just decided to 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 chill.
That is, yeah, so jealous.
Why? Which part?
I was so busy this weekend and the last weekend.
Yeah. What
So
happened?
tiring. I moved to this new apartment last month and still there are things to deal with. Like there are lots of stuffs on the floors that should be dealt with. So yeah, I'm always cleaning.
Are these stuffs that you want to sell or you want to reorganize them?
I'll mostly reorganize, I think. And of course, just most of them, I think I want to throw them away, but have to, pick the stuffs. So it takes some time. And weekend, I need to review what I learned during the weekdays. And also, I'm writing some new articles like about queer society
Ah,
taking podcasts with you. It's so busy.
oh, I keep you young. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good one if you have a 6 months kind of course because last time we talked about this. It prepares you for the job actually, and it is more than enough probably for 6 months. It's like yeah, as you mentioned, it's a full-time job. It's not even when I took a course, it was at my own pace. And I could do like 2 hours, 3 hours a day, but this one is very heavy. So 6 months of full time is, yeah, I'm looking forward what you gonna do after this.
Yeah, actually, it's pretty fun to learn this programming and data science things. And it is a government vocational training
Mm.
from the government. So it's free and they gave me some money. Thank you. And
They even give you money?
yeah, it's like vocational training from the government. So
Hmm.
not all of the training get paid, but all not every yeah just like because data science and programming AI stuffs are something that society needs, so governments pay to the trainee.
Oh, that's great.
It's very little, like 200 euros per month.
Okay.
And if you based on your background, like whole family income, your parents property, like
Yeah.
yeah, based on those kind of stuffs, you can get like 800, I think, euro per
Okay.
month.
That's generous. Yeah.
Yeah,
Was it
it is.
difficult to apply for?
Actually, no. There are so many companies offering this government vocational
Yeah.
training, so you can easily apply for it. They have different courses, different topics, so it's
Yeah.
pretty easy. And
That's good. That's good.
I'm the oldest. Not the oldest. I'm here. The other people, all the university graduate. I think the most trainees are university graduates. They just
Yeah.
graduated this February.
I think I will be also one of the older ones when I take the golf instructor, PGA, whatever, apprenticeship, um, end of summer. Um, Most of them will probably be like 16, 17, 18. They don't even have an, university or apprenticeship before. This is just straight from school.
Are they Asians?
No. No. Um, I think what I was told is they are so young, they're so unexperienced. It's the first time probably they're being living by themselves, and there's um, regular regular seminars and all these kinds of weekends where you learn and participate and have some exams. And I was told by a friend who was doing this apprenticeship that everyone is very eager to drink and party. It's understandable, right? You're coming
Yeah,
from school,
yeah,
it's your first apprenticeship, and of course you want to drink and party and have fun. Yeah.
yeah. Uh, Actually, my training session is most of the trainees are, as I said, the university graduate, the recent graduate from the university, and actually they attended university during the pandemic. So
Okay.
for them, taking courses through the how to say the Zoom is actually very like usual. It's like
Yeah.
they are already getting used to those kind of training. It's for me, it is
Mm.
very weird, as you know. Like
Mm.
my type of person is always gathering people and hanging out together, having
Yeah.
lunch, dinner. I'm the person like that, but for them, they spend most of their university time when during the pandemic, so they
Yeah.
don't get along with each other.
Wow.
That is really, really weird experience, I think,
So
for me.
would you say during high school, it's different to college? Because in high school you're taking tests and all these kinds of stuff, and you're probably not having assignments in a group.
High school,
Seems like a more like an individual effort during high school, and during college or university, it seems like it's more like group based sometimes.
you're right, yeah.
Wow, and they don't have that.
They have
They're
group
just continuing.
assignments, but they do group assignments on Zoom.
I've done that before. It's horrible. I hate it.
That is horrible. Yeah.
But do you think since the COVID period, universities have maybe switched also more to Zoom because it's more convenient for some people?
No, I don't think so. After the pandemic, actually, everyone returned to school, the offline class. So
Yeah, that's good.
so what they say is that they took their courses offline when they're senior.
Mm.
So first 3 years they just take courses on Zoom, that is, and they pay the same, tuition.
Yeah, that's what I asked myself. It's like if you were in university during pandemic and then you pay the same tuition fees, how do you feel? It's like ripping you off, right?
Yeah.
But then I was thinking for the most majors it doesn't even matter because it's only kind of textbook based. You don't have to do any practical things. Of course, if you have some activities during class, but mostly the professor will talk and you will just listen and he will show you some concepts, whatever. But if you imagine majors like chemistry or medicine, something like this, would be hard because you probably have some equipment to deal with during the lessons.
Yeah, you're right. I think, I don't know. So anyway, for me, it is a bit awkward to turn on camera for 8 hours continuously.
Yeah.
That is pretty, for me, it's like a torture. I cannot pick my nose, you know.
You can't do anything, right?
I have to put on the proper tire always because they're recording whole lectures. So
Yeah. You
for
cannot eat
me,
anything.
I can
Can you?
eat, yeah, because the mic is off. Yeah, so, but
Yeah.
still, how many people turning on cameras for 8 hours? But I think the recent graduate think that is not a big issue
Wow.
because they're
And
getting used.
how about if you turn it off? What
Oh,
happens?
there,
Do you
there. It is another funny story that there's one assistant and her job is to watch those like Zoom. If you
okay.
disappear for more than 10 minutes, she will call you
Wow.
on the phone.
Really? Has it happened to you?
No, but I didn't know that Zoom has a function that if you're a supervisor of that meeting, you can
Mm.
ask attendee to turn on.
Mhm.
There's
So
a
it's a
pop-up.
feature.
Yeah, it's a feature, so they just send me those kind of messages sometimes.
And if that doesn't work, they call you on the phone.
Yeah,
Wow. I mean, 10 minutes enough to go to the toilet.
right.
How about if you go to the restroom? You cannot, you know, you have to go.
From 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., the class takes 50 minutes and we have 10 minutes break.
Mhm.
So we can do whatever we want
Okay.
during the
Was
break.
it
And 1 hour
then
lunch.
1 hour lunch? Okay. How about, let me ask you about assignments. If you have group assignments, do you have fixed groups or how do you get into groups in
Well,
Zoom?
yeah, we have like, we will gonna do some group projects
Mm.
to make a portfolio to submit to the corporate when we find a job. So, and we also have like the review group, weekly
Mhm.
review. We review our studies and we share our opinions each other in the group. And also like there are chances to take an exam for the certificate during the exam during this
Mm.
session. So there is a group for, how to say, to, we call it study group. We have a study group to study together, test to get a certificate.
Okay. Sounds exhausting.
It is really actually exhausting because what the teachers do is is high school, middle school. He talks something background stories. He he tells us some background stories about programming for about 30 minutes and give actual lecture about programming for 15 minutes like that. So it's like mostly he tells the stories during the class, not a lecture coding.
I wish I could watch it. Just very curious how it would look. Yeah, COVID changed quite a few things. Yeah, honestly, I really hated the COVID times. I think in the beginning it was quite fun or interesting because you could stay at home. But after 2 weeks, you would be happy to have anything to do outside, even if it's like grocery shopping or do whatever outside. Yeah, I can't imagine it to be like. I think it was 1 or 2 years, at least here in Germany, where you had so many restrictions and it was so tough. Every day you watched like the news and how many infected people. Yeah.
I heard that many media in Korea says that Europe and America, there are many people resist to those kind of regulation
Yes.
and just do whatever they want.
Even China, come on. Do you remember? They had China, it was even more restrictive. And at least this was what I heard from the news is they didn't even have enough to eat.
You know, I was
They hold
there.
they hold up like white blank papers to protest.
You know, I was there when
Yeah,
the
beginning.
pandemic begins, very beginning. That atmosphere was horrible that time
Even at the
because
beginning.
the beginning was the most terrifying, I think, moment in China because there was actually no news, official news about it. But on WeChat, always there is a story shared by some random people, and it's keep being deleted by the supervisor.
Mm.
So when I was there, if you're in the same shopping mall with someone with the confirmed, then you had to stay in your home for 2 weeks. It's like, yeah, just it's a huge
Yeah.
shopping mall, and if one confirmed case found there, everyone who were there had to stay in home for 2 weeks.
Wow.
So
And that's tracked by app, right?
at that time, no. You know, how is it
But then how
controlled?
do
That
you
is
how do you know?
the 공안, their police sits
Yeah.
in front of your door for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Sits and watch you for 2 weeks, and they deliver some food for you and buy
But
groceries for you.
how do you know if how would government know if you were in that mall, for example?
Ah,
They can't possibly
that's-
track everyone.
yeah. I forgot how they tracked it.
Yeah. And you needed also notification, I think. Or was it
Yeah,
through the phone?
I think it's through the phone, and
Yeah.
I think you write it your name or phone numbers when you enter
Entered. Yeah, probably.
the shopping mall because you
Yeah.
didn't have that system at the time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I didn't know the neighborhood. They call it the neighborhood, but like
Yeah.
apartment community actually is managed by the party, the Communist
Mm.
Party. Yeah, they are party
Yeah.
members managing those apartments and neighborhood.
Ah.
So they control the entrance of the apartment. So you
Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah.
go out.
Yeah.
Just you when I leave China, you couldn't leave your neighborhood without permission.
And you had to get the permission to fly out of China.
leave your house.
Okay.
You need permission
Leave
to
your
leave your
house.
house at that time. It was, and yeah, even in the airport, everyone was. It was January 1st of 2020, and everyone had put on the, how to say, the full attire. I don't know how to say
Yeah.
it.
Is it like the face shield?
No, it's whole like,
Ah, yeah. But
yeah,
the bodysuit.
full bodysuit, right? And you had to submit your uh health checklist,
Mm.
and wow, that was horrible
That
experience.
times. Yeah. 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 There's so many stories during COVID. I think so much stuff happened. I think maybe it's some content for another separate episode. I think this week's episode is also kind of related to, not related, but there's so many stories about weddings during COVID. And I missed one wedding because of COVID. And that sucked so much because it was a good friend. Another one who delayed it 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. He then decided, okay, let's just don't get a ceremony. We're married and that's fine. Yeah, so this week's episode topic is wedding ceremonies or weddings in general. I think we are at the age where quite a few friends have married, and probably we have some stories to tell. You had a few wedding ceremonies to attend last week or the
Right,
last weeks.
right.
Yeah. How does let me first question, which wedding was your best you attended and why?
Your wedding,
My wedding.
yeah.
And why?
It's the first international wedding, and maybe
Mhm.
the last one that I attended.
Yeah.
I also been to Guan's wedding, our Chinese friend.
Mhm.
But anyway, it is not a international wedding. Like, it is Chinese
Mm,
wedding, and you are like German Chinese wedding. And in Korea we don't have culture like a groomsman,
mm,
so that was very new to me. The location and the whole process was like, at that time I didn't know what to do. It was something I've never experienced. So yeah, that was really fascinating.
yeah. That time we really had not much ideas on how the wedding should look like. I mean, we had some weddings that we attended that were in Germany, which is very, let's say, classical. You basically go to church and afterwards you have some activity like dinner and party. Yeah, that's it. Sometimes weddings don't have that church part. Rather, they have I don't I don't know how it is called. It's just non-religious or free ceremony, and they just have the couple will speak their vows and in front of the friends and have that kind of ceremony by themselves without the church. Yeah. But for us, first it was difficult to find a location. We didn't know where to go. We really didn't know where to go, and the locations in Germany were kind of difficult to decide on because if we decided on to get a ceremony in Germany, we didn't know where because we had no kind of location that we both liked, and we didn't want to go to a location which part we don't know. And also we both had some family members that were in China, so they had a long flight, and other friends also from Asia or wherever. So we thought, okay, the most of our friends are probably not even in Germany. So what should we do? And I think it was a very kind of spontaneous decision to do it in Bali. I can't remember why Bali, because we haven't been to Bali before, but I think the images we had from Bali from social media were great. And obviously it would be a destination wedding, and all the Chinese family members, friends would have to go to Bali. And Yeah, it was a tough decision, but I think it was kind of special and memorable. And after that, I think Bali was or is one of our dream destinations. We haven't been there since, but we have so many good memories.
That wedding ceremony in Bali sounds so romantic.
Yeah.
It's
The
unreal.
For me it was also unreal. I have seen those pictures because it was a quite highly demanded wedding spot. And I think it was in Bali. I think Uluwatu. I'm not sure. Uluwatu, yeah, on the south. And there's some different spots on that coast. And we decided for that one. And in real life, it looks so much better. It's, it's and we even were lucky because the sun was shining after the rain. Yeah, it was incredible. I have no idea what I thought at that moment because it was just very picturesque and walking on glass. It was walking on glass over some waters. It was, yeah. I mean, as a husband, I couldn't enjoy it that much because I was always very nervous and tense and emotional. But how did you know, experience the ceremony?
At first, I want to ask, is this a German style ceremony or like mixed?
I would say it would be if it was kind of a German ceremony. I mean, what does German ceremony even mean? I mean, you have the ceremony, the wedding ceremony itself, and after that, you have some activity like take pictures or whatever, have dinner, and then dance, cut the cake, and that's a normal, I would say, a Western ceremony. Yeah, in Germany, many still are going to church and have the ceremony there. And after that, they will have a location where they can eat, dance, have fun, party. Yeah, that's it.
It
Yeah.
is actually very different from Korean wedding ceremony, I think, in my opinion. So I ask you if it's like German style or not. For me, that was when the first night we had some like small parties, I think,
Mm,
with a cigar and like alcohols.
yeah.
And in Korea, actually, we don't have those kind of like
Mm.
culture. Just
I
prepare
see. I see.
wedding, and for us, it's wedding ceremony takes only 20 minutes,
Yeah.
and having a meal like lunch or dinner for 40 minutes, and
Mhm.
that's it mostly. So
Yeah. So, so I think the the wedding ceremonies I've been to in Germany are more, yeah, where all of them were one day only. So there was no night before or something. And you would basically have the ceremony, then there will be some break, and then usually you go over to dinner. So that means or the weddings I've been to, you would do this around afternoon. So you have dinner after that, and then you have some time to toast to the bride and groom, take photos, and then there's a dinner served, and then also there's some kind of activities like games or some speeches, of course, from the parents, friends, and then they will conclude probably with some late night snacks and party, and that's where it all ends basically. And sometimes the day after there will be some breakfast, but that's not very common. Yes.
and
Well, sometimes they will just say goodbye to the attendants. They will say goodbye to the guests, and yeah, basically that's the night after.
you still have some like romance, I think. It sounds romantic. This whole ceremony sounds like have some chills, and I think
Yeah,
it is.
it's very romantic. It's very all of the ceremonies I've been to, they've been very romantic, lots of tears. There's nothing, how to say it, static about it. It's just very individual because Of course, there's wedding planners and such, but the wedding ceremony and the whole wedding takes some time. 1 day, 1.5 days.
I still remember we played a game, the groomsmen. Like there was a challenge to take you to your wife. Like, do you
Mm.
remember?
I
Yeah.
mean, my wedding was kind of a Chinese international one because, as you mentioned, the first night everyone arrived, so we have some dinner prepared, and everyone gets to know each other, and um, there was a lot of family coming together, so we wanted to have them to have some time, and because everyone arrived at a different schedule, and it it was a destination wedding, so it would be it would be too stressful just to have it 1 day. So we decided that everyone has some dinner the night before, and family can gather, talk, and have fun. And then afterwards, yeah, the groomsman had some. I decided to have we have some whiskey, some cigar. That's probably American, kind of an American thing. Also with the groomsmen, I think. Yeah, that's why I think I included it. And yeah, it was also quite cool. It was quite short, but this is also where we could have discussed some how to prepare for the next day, I think. Because we had
What
to
about
get up very early, I think.
yeah. Oh,
Like 5.
right, right. But the games, you remember? We
Yeah,
played
that
together.
the
Is
games,
it a Chinese thing or
it's a Chinese thing, yeah. It's a Chinese thing. The next day we got up at 5 or something and had to be at my wife's kind of villa or room, all the groomsmen, and we had kind of conquer. I had to conquer her, and that's a Chinese thing. I'm not very sure about the exact details, but basically, you would have to go to the wife's apartment, room, villa, whatever, wherever she is, and you would have to conquer her or deserve her. So that's why we had to play the games, like
push-ups?
do push-ups, give money to bribe the guard at the entrance. What else? What else? Find a shoe and do these kinds of little games. And that's a Chinese thing. Yeah, that's a definitely a Chinese thing. I would say at any Chinese wedding, they will probably have this. You can ask one. Even he probably had it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
In Korea, we used to have similar culture before, but now just everything's so simple. Mm, very easy.
Is it because American influence? I don't think it's American.
Before, what we had was like, it was very similar to China, I think.
Hmm.
Day before the wedding, husband and husband's friends, the group of friends, like
Hmm.
they sing a song in the street. I could see them when I was very young. They sing a song and they bring one box to bribe's house and the family. So the box is full of the gifts.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a ceremony. So they bring the box, and their bride's parents they have to satisfy their bride's parents.
Yeah.
They play some Korean traditional like instruments.
Yeah. Yeah.
After midnight,
I've,
they sing a song, walk for the whole street.
yeah, I think it's this part of the ceremony is also kind of related to the parents. Because of course you're picking up your wife, you conquer her, you kind of ask her for her final um, what's it called?
Decision.
Decision. Yeah, sorry, decision. And then you will have to ask the parents also. You have that kind of tea ceremony. That was right after what we had. We had the traditional tea ceremony with our parents, and I think that is kind of where it maybe came from in China, where you know where the wife is, and the wife is usually not living by herself, but with the parents. And that's also kind of a symbol that the wife will join kind of your family. Yeah, that's how it was or is. And then you will have to pay respect to the parents and have the tea ceremony, which we also had.
You mean in Germany? In China?
No, in Bali, my wedding. Do you remember? We had a CT ceremony. Yeah,
So it is very Asian thing.
yeah, it's very Asian. Also happened in Korea because what you were telling me sounds kind of exactly like the Chinese version.
Yeah,
You have
right.
to go to the wife's house and kind of ask the parents also or whatever. And it's
And
the day before, and then yeah.
right, right. It's very similar, I think, the culture.
But also what I know from the States through the movies, if you have kind of a ball to attend at high school, like year's end ball or something, you would also, as a man, have to go to the girl's house. As a
Yeah,
boy, you have to go
yeah,
to the
right.
girl's house, and then you kind of pick her up, and then you will greet the parents. That's
Always
what
need the
always happens.
permission.
Always need the permission, so the dad can always threat the boy.
Right. Then how about your parents and your wife's parents expect from your wedding? Like, do they want you to do in a Chinese style or German style?
I think the expectation was always to have some elements like this. It was taken for granted that we have that kind of ceremony, like the tea ceremony, and that we as a boy group came or arrived at her place. That was also kind of expected. It definitely wasn't our wish to do it, but there was, a lot of back and forth to decide on how we gonna do the wedding apart from the main day. So the day before, the day after, and so there was definitely some influence from both sides, but I can imagine it was definitely expected. The wedding day was very tough. Waking up that early, have that ceremony, and then you guys had free time until evening, I think. I think most of us, or most of you guys, went to breakfast, have some chill at the pool. We had to go to photo shooting and video
Right.
recording. Oh, that was so tough. And then in the evening, yeah, we had that ceremony. Uh,
That resort swimming pool was so good. Ayana Bali. That's my favorite now. I've been to the rock bar last year. The bar at the Ayana resort. Do you
really,
remember the rock? Yeah.
rock bar. You could zip your cocktails in the pool. Was it that one?
We had to take some kind of elevator to get there.
Okay, that bar. Okay, yeah, yeah, I remember. You had a view on the ocean, and you were just kind of sitting near the cliffs. Yeah,
This was fantastic.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, and the ceremony itself. Yeah, for me, very emotional. I didn't expect to cry, but it just happened. I think it just couldn't even stop. I didn't even look at the guests, so I just laser focused, and yeah, it was. I mean, the day was long, and you were so nervous, concentrated, also excited, lots of emotions, and then it just passes by like a movie. You just saw the priest, and I don't even remember if I just.
And that scenery was like, the scenery makes every memory like a movie. The scenery at the church was unbelievably beautiful. I think when we take a picture, the cliffs and sunset was stunning. The beautiful city. Yeah. Mm. Inspired from your wedding. It was a gaslighting each other. Actually, yeah. after that, I'm also kind of dreaming having a wedding ceremony like that. Like, it doesn't need to be a beach, but should be something not very well organized. Like, if you get wedding ceremony in Korea, it's like a factory, actually. You find a wedding planner, and booking booking a the wedding hall is so difficult. Actually, you have to book 1 year in advance. So yeah, it is. Hotels are mostly very expensive, so only rich people can afford it. Mostly there are lots of wedding halls only for the halls only for the weddings, and only 2 hours is allowed for the couples. The meals, I think they hold 3 or 4 weddings a day. Each hall has a 3 or 4 weddings a day, so we are allowed to occupy that place for 2 or 3 hours. 2 hours, I think. So ceremony takes 20 minutes or 30 minutes mostly, and they all went to the take a meal, and they spent like 40 minutes there. They leave, and that's it. And couple leaves for the honeymoon, and it costs, I think, around 5,000 euro. The whole ceremony. Yeah, like booking the location charges around at least 7,000 euro, I think. No, 50k euro, 50,000 euro. The whole ceremony. It is expensive. It is so expensive. Not in a hotel. The location is, yeah, I think so. So I heard the money you spent in your wedding ceremony before, and I think, oh yeah, I think I can afford that wedding in Bali or whatever the closer islands nearby it is. First, the location. I think it's up to people 100, like 50 to 200, I think. But anyway, they pay for it. They pay, how to say, they prepare cash as a gift for the wedding. So each person pays around 30 euros, at least 30. My case, yeah, or like if you're close, they may pay 200 euros. So yeah, actually, it is kind of equal. But you get from mostly, yes, so 20k. Oh, then maybe, yeah, right. But like your family may gives you much more, like it is pretty, I think, expensive. If you do the budget wedding, maybe 20k. Yeah, budget wedding can be 20k, 20,000 euro, I think. The location is already 7,000. No, that's it becomes in Korea. It just becomes a industry. So we call it studio. Studio is for photo taking, and the dress and the makeup and the wedding hall and the food. It's like combined into one industry, and everything becomes so expensive because it is integrated process. But if you don't hire a wedding planner and do it everything by yourself, then it may be cheaper. But booking a wedding hall needs some like guanxi, yeah, it needs some connections. So yeah, you will need a wedding planner. My memory about your wedding is like I was a bit afraid to go there first. When I leave Shanghai, I was in Shanghai at the time with my ex-girlfriend, and we tried to took a flight, and there was a huge typhoon, and surprisingly, only our flight had departed. So all other flights got cancelled, but only mine was not cancelled. That is the most frightening, I think, moment in your life. All other flights has cancelled, but only my flights can go. So what? And there was an earthquake, do you remember? Yeah, the volcanic eruption. So the first night, I was very drunken. I was tipsy, kind of. So I felt the earth was moving, but I thought it's like me feeling tipsy. But actually, that was an earthquake. When I checked the closet, the hangers were moving like this. It was so funny. It was like, I also didn't feel it because I was very drunk, but like at the airport, when I leave Bali, there was a continuous earthquake. So, the airport of the Bali, the top of the Bali airport is a glass. So when there is an earthquake, people just get inside again after it ends. Like, it was pretty fun. Good memory. Oh, what? I've been there 5 times and I forgot the name. Ubud. Ubud. Yeah. Wow. That is terrifying because it's a Bali building. I kind of, if you're in Japan, maybe you can enjoy the earthquake because it would be safe. The buildings should be prepared for it. Bali in Korea, you'd better not enjoy it. You have to escape first. Anyway, yeah, that also your wedding inspired me a lot. I really hate to get to do the typical Korean, like a factory style wedding ceremony. No, that is unusual, I think. It doesn't happen in Korea. We only have ceremony, yeah, like we only have it during the weekend. So everyone at least put on some proper like attire, not very strict like before. We don't have ties. I don't do ties, and I just like put on some shirts, jackets. That's it. Sometimes jeans. That is also acceptable in recent days. Yeah, like business casual. What that is. Business casual. That is also allowed. European style, I think, wedding is more traditional. I think people don't change those kind of habits, I think, in America and Europe. They think it's very sacred, those ceremonies, so you don't change it easily. I think that's Europe is right, but the people there is right. They have to deal. That makes much more sense than Asian one, I think. In China and Korea, wedding ceremony is more like a duty, I think, that they have to do. The pressures from Asian parents is unbelievable. Korean people and also the Chinese people, they just do it without huge consideration. I think it's because it's the duty, it's something you have to do anyway. You have to finish it. Finishing it is something that you have to do. Right, right. It's a biggest quest in your life for the Asian parents. So the huge pressure from the like for your parents. Right, right. As Korea, it used to be very similar. Like half of the participants are parents from the parents. So it's like this. It's like a community thing. My parents attend his friend's children's wedding and he pays for it. His friends gonna, like, for example, my parents' friends gonna attend my wedding and they pay back. It's a give and return the money. So as I said, it is pretty expensive to getting married in South Korea, and that's how do they collect those monies for the wedding. So parents pay for their friends' kids, and that friends came to my wedding and pay for it. So I can have immediate huge income in a day. That was what's happening in Asia, I think. It's like same. Yeah, yeah, it's like a loan based on the how to say, without any papers, without any documents. Hongbao, hongbao. Yeah, So my biggest concern before attending your ceremony was, what should I prepare based on Korean custom, Korean like tradition? I have to prepare like hongbao for you, and also Chinese. people from China should prepare hongbao, I think. I don't know if the Guan or other Adam prepare for it. So what for me? So I was thinking, I wanted for me the easiest way to prepare a gift is just giving your cash. But you are German, and you both of you experienced some Western culture, so I was kind of worried that you may not like it. Like you were feel a bit pressure to receiving money from your friends. So I just didn't. I just sent you Korean food, lots of food instead of it. So yeah, that was a kind of pressure, bit pressure. I felt bit stress because of preparing those gifts. A very easy way is just giving your cash. It was so easy. In Guan's wedding, I prepared a hongbao and just gave it to him. But Guan is Chinese and you are German. I don't remember. I don't remember that. For the Guan's wedding, yes, I asked Belle, how much should I prepare? Like, because as a foreigner, I have no idea. But for your wedding, I don't know. Anyway, in my wedding, you don't need to prepare anything. Please. No cash, no gift. Bali is too far. If I find Korean, I'd rather do it in some closer islands like Philippines. Jeju, no. Yeah, it could be good. Maybe the Thailand, much closer. The Philippines, much closer. Bali, 7 hours flight is pretty long from here. No. If I can find Chinese wife, yes, or prefer to, or some like beach side of South Korea, but they don't have. Busan is too expensive. That is too crowded, I think. Can you give me my ideal wedding ceremony in my backyard? Yeah, 20 or 30 guests. Oh, yeah, yeah. Sounds so perfect. And my parents and her parents. I'm very happy. I'm very enjoying our conversation, but I have something in 10 minutes. So I think we have to wrap it up. I think you sent it to me before. You had a live stream, yeah. It's including like honeymoon, I think. Honeymoon is also expensive, including everything. It is included in 50K. Honeymoon, wedding hall, food, and also I think what to say the electronics for your house may include, but not a housing. Housing is so expensive. Housing is excluded. Anyway, let's wrap it up. I have to leave home in 2 minutes. I have to leave home and to get there in 10 minutes. Yeah. Wow. Congratulations. Yeah. See you next week. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.